Hey everybody, thank you for joining me today. So today's video, we're going to continue on using the stencil brushes that we talked about yesterday. And I'm going to share some of my own feelings now that I've actually used them on a project. And what we're going to do first is we're going to do some blending. Now for blending, I don't use those thinner brushes. I know they call them blending brushes, but to me, they don't blend smoothly. Whereas like the sponge or the ones that are like makeup brushes, those are the only ones that I think you get a nice smooth coloring. Now, granted, it also matters what paper you use. This particular white paper is Neenah. This is some cardstock that I've had for a long time. It's the 110-pound weight, and it blends on very smoothly. Okay, even if you have like a dark area, you're still able to kind of work it and you can get it blended out. Whereas, like, if it's not the right kind of texture, you may have a hard time blending. So when people say that they're not good at blending, my first thought is always, what paper did you use? Okay. Now I've wet my hands and I'm sprinkling some of the water on top, and now we're going to lift some of the coloring. And it's not a big lift, but it just gives the background a little bit of texture. And so what my thought was, you know what? Let me wet up this towel, right? I'm going to wet up this paper towel and lay it on top of the stencil that's on top of the card base that we just kind of colored up, right? So that way, where the stencil area is, that will lift some of the color and give me a light texture of clouds. And you'll see that here in a second. And I'm just trying to, maybe tap in certain areas, just trying to pick up the coloring. Now, what I should have had, which I should have just paused and ran and got some, baby wipes. If you have baby wipes, they would do the same thing, and you might have been able to lift up even more. But what I love is, do you see the texture of the clouds? That's from the that's from the paper towel. I wasn't even thinking that it would cause to create like a textured pattern. I mean, I really liked how that looked. I was like, oh, that's different. But then I was like, you know what? Let me show with the stencil brushes exactly what I mean when I was telling you guys in the other video yesterday. So I just lined this back up, and I grabbed the stencil brush, basically, that I used, was it yesterday in the test, and we're going to apply ink using that. And I'm just going to hit certain clouds though. That's what I love about this mini one, is like, you don't have to worry about getting it in areas that you don't want. You can literally focus on one, or like a cloud here, a cloud there. If you wanted to make clouds different colors, you just grab another brush and then put different colors in the other ones. So I love that you can really do multiple coloring, multiple detailing, however you want to phrase it, using the smaller mini brushes. And what we're doing with this right now is some of the clouds I'm just darkening with Salted Ocean. Is it Salted Ocean? Which one is this? Yeah, Salty Ocean. And we're just coloring it in. And when I feel like, oh, you know what, that's enough, because not all of them, I don't want to lose the texture that we had with some of the clouds. I don't want to lose that. I'm just trying to add a little bit of more depth by darkening some. And now we're going to go ahead and attach it to the card base. And our card base is 4¼ by 5½. Okay. And we're going to go ahead. Of course, I'm using my ATG and my glue gun. And that allows me to have the time to kind of line everything up. Because you just want, I had already cut it down so that way we would have a nice border on the card front. All right, and we're going to put that to the side. And then for the next card, I wanted to play with some colors, and I was thinking I was going to use some stickers from um uh Sugar Rush. Is it Sugar Rush? What is this thing called? I had some stickers from Sweet Rush. Sugar Rush, they all blend in. From Sweet Rush. And with Sweet Rush, there was like these pinks and oranges, yellows. It's very kind of tropical color to me. So I opened up the 2 packs where it was like mostly pinks and reddish pinks, and then the oranges, red orange, and that one yellow. And I decided to grab where is it? Spice marmalade, and I did picked raspberry and sponge sugar. Okay, and those 3 colors, I decided to start with. Oh, here I'm grabbing the bigger versions because on the back of those, I already had sponges, and I wanted to do blending, especially with the sponge sugar. And so I've been grabbing those because I don't have any extras right now. So that's why the bigger ones are right there. It's kind of like, why aren't you using your bigger ones? No, the point is I'm trying to show the minis, okay? Oh my God. It was cracking me up even while I was doing it. I was like, that's so silly. You're grabbing the big ones. Just use the big one, but it'll be okay. The point of our project is to show one, the minis, and two, what I think these particular mini brushes from Ranger are really made for, because I don't know that they've actually blended with them. They couldn't have, because when I tried to blend, to me you can see each and every one of those bristles. Nah, nah. It doesn't work well in my opinion. Now, if you do it and you love it, have at it. More power to you. But I don't, when I blend, I want it to be smooth. And sometimes I get obsessive about it and keep going until I feel like it's smooth enough. And I can't get it smooth enough with the bristles. Okay. Um I thought my phone was off. Okay, all these dings. Sorry about that. We're going to continue on. So now we have our stencil on top. And my first thought is I was going to do a center amount of color using the pink. And you can take it and do it a little bit at a time. If you're only doing a small section, to me, that's what the mini one is for. And I guess the grand scheme of things, if you're doing a larger area, you're going to want to use the bigger one, or just stick with the old trade and true blender, because this one, to me, obviously you can cover much more area in a quicker amount of time. It's bigger. There you have it. But what I was trying to do, I'm going to line it up, and this is what the mini what they call blender tool is going to be really great for. Okay, so let me clean off the pink real quick because I don't want to cross contaminate, even though they're the same product material, being an oxide to oxide. I just don't want to mix up the color. That's what I mean at that moment about cross contamination. Okay, so now I was like, you know what, I'm going to use that one little edge, and I'm going to put the orange, the spice marmalade, on that edge and bring it into some of the pink, right? So then it's almost looking like it's blending in to our pink section and blending, and then it's like a I always want to say gradation, but that's not it. That's not the word. Ombre? Yeah, ombre effect. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So that's the one good thing about a pattern like this, is that it is easier to line it back up. And then you can finish out your card front, even though at first it wasn't going to cover the entire thing, right? And I look at that. And the color goes on top and they blend. And it does exactly what I was hoping it would do. Okay. And then look at that. Ooh, Ooh, I love it. I love it. Yes. And then there's still enough room. We can trim this down. Perfect. But that's what I think using the mini brush and the I'm gonna call them stencil brushes. I'm so sorry. Whenever I say that, I'm talking about the metal ones, not the regular distress blender, because that's a blender tool to me. This is a stencil brush because of the coarseness of the bristles, all the individual bristles. Like, yeah, it's more for like, yeah, more detailing stuff and more I'm trying to think of the word and it's not coming, but you guys, you see what I'm talking about. If you have never used them before, you got to get at least the minis, because I think those would be good for anybody, especially because I think that you could use it with more detailed stencils and it'll allow you to put color in very specific areas of the stencil. So I don't think they're a bad buy at all. But if you've used them before and feel the same thing, or maybe your experience with it was a little bit different, leave a comment down below because I'm definitely intrigued and want to know. So, okay, so in here, I'm trying to change my um, tape gun, and I realized I paused because I got a phone call, and then I forgot to unpause. But the only thing that changed was you missed my my splattering and my adding the sentiment. But I love how these turned out. I love the colors on the splatters. On the pink and orange, I used the pecan peach and gold and white. And then on the blue, I just used white and gold. But yeah, this is just me telling you, really and truly, I like them for the detailing work, making sure colors only go in certain areas. I would give it thumbs up, 2 thumbs up. But for large area color blending, no, definitely not. Don't think it's for that. Okay. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed the first part of the video, and I do apologize that I didn't get everything, but I'm telling you, you guys, the minis are a good investment, especially if you've never really got into oxides. I would say go ahead and start with the minis. They're really good quality. Thanks again, and I hope you guys have a great day today. And I will see you with our next video, which should be up this Friday. It's going to be another one of our crop challenges, but it's still going to be a fun layout to see. All right, you guys. Thanks. Have a great one.